So today we're going to talk about the art of frugal. Knowing when and how to spend money is truly an art form. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and live a great retirement. Well, we've talked on and off a little bit about being frugal and what that means. And I'm going to give you my definition of frugal. And that is choosing when and how to spend your money in order to enhance your life. Now you notice I did not say that frugal is about not spending money. That's not in my definition. It's not. When you get to the point where you just refuse to spend money on things, you make yourself miserable. You make everyone around you miserable. All you talk about is how much things cost and how awful it is. It just gets really bad. That's not being frugal. That's being cheap. And that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how to best use your money to improve your life the most. It's about intentional spending on only those things you really need and value. And that involves choices. And the thing is, when we retire, those choices and those things we value change drastically for a lot of people. Not everyone, but for a lot of people, they really change. When we are working, there are many things we do because we have to. We feel like we have to. We have to get our nails done. We have to wear a certain level of attire to whatever business we're in. We have to look a certain way. We have to do certain things. We have to commute. We have to spend money on certain things. There are also a lot of things when we're working that we do for convenience. We just go by and pay for the coffee on our way to work. We don't worry about making it at home. We don't cook much because, we're busy. People who are working, especially if both people are working, as they normally are these days, and when you get home from work, you don't necessarily want to spend a long time cooking a big meal. So we tend to eat out a lot. We do a lot of things for convenience. But once you retire, things are very different. Before, a lot of your decisions were wrapped around the idea you didn't have much time for yourself. You were busy working most of your waking hours. And so the time to do all these things wasn't there. Once you retire, man, you got time. And so your ability to choose what you do and why you do it is very different. When you retire, you get that opportunity to reprioritize and think about things a little bit differently. And let me give you an example. You know how when you were working and you wanted to take a vacation, there was usually a window. You had to choose a window when you could both go, when you both had enough time off, just when it worked for you time-wise. Time was the determining factor. And yes, you wanted to get a good price, but that was usually secondary because there were only certain windows of time where you could take that vacation. Once you retire, when you want to travel, time is wide open. It's no longer the determining factor of how you travel. Now, you can look at a whole year in advance and say, okay, when am I going to get the best deal? Because I can go anytime. So let's look at what's available. What can I get? What upgrades can I get that I couldn't have gotten if I traveled in high season simply by traveling in the off season? Things of that nature now become the determining factor. And that is what I mean by being frugal. You are determining what you're going to do and where you're going to go by price, but you're getting way more for that money than when you had to determine everything by a certain time you could go. So when I think about being frugal in retirement, it's all about thinking ahead, planning ahead, researching. It's not about not spending money. It's about spending that money in the most effective way possible to get the most bang for your buck. That's what it's about. And I will tell you, it takes a little while to transition mentally to this different set of parameters. We're so in the habit of, for example, traveling at a certain time of year while we're working. Sometimes we keep those habits for a few years. It's like we forget, oh wait, I can go anytime. Why am I traveling at the high season? I can go anytime. And it takes a little while to recalibrate your own viewpoint and understand, okay, you need to take advantage of the fact that you have time now and not continue those habits that are actually costing you more money in retirement. And to me, this is how things like decluttering, organizing, downsizing all fit into this frugal mindset, because you are getting rid of things you don't need. You are not spending money like you used to. You're not consuming as much because you just don't need those things anymore. You're not buying as much. Your spending habits change. You're decluttering and getting rid of things that aren't useful to you anymore and are just weighing you down. A lot of people downsize where they live and what state even they live in. And those are ideas that all fit into this frugal mindset. Once you retire, you can really address all of those things and set your life up to be really fulfilling based on the amount of money you have, instead of constantly worrying you're going to run out of money or feeling like you can't go do certain things. Nobody wants to feel that way. So that's how all those things fit together into this frugal mindset. It's not about being a cheapskate or making yourself miserable in retirement. Being frugal is really about that intentional use of your resources to get the best life possible. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.